Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
It's a Sunday morning and this is one full week after my surgeries. I'm here for a checkup. This is Dr. Winai's private clinic. As you can see, the what are they called?
Roller doors.
The roller doors are still down. My eye, the sight is fantastic. I can see everything absolutely clearly. Glaucoma, probably also perfectly well. That's what we're here to figure out, whether I will need to continue with drops or whether the chamber is open enough to be able to drain on its own. Last week it was open enough to drain on its own. So let's see what's going on today. It's a little bit irritable at the operation site, I guess, because it just feels like a grain of sand consistently.
You've got the stitch in there, it's a scar tissue.
It is.
Sort of.
It's a stitch. No, it's a stitch, and it's a dissolvable stitch. So I don't have any worries where that's concerned, but we will sit down with you a little later and explain exactly what surgeries I had. I have the names in my phone, so I can read them all to you, and the procedure from go to wound. All right, talk to you soon. Hi. So today's a serious one. I want to talk to you today about something that has been plaguing me for the last 6 years medically. Now, back in 2018, just after my 50th birthday, I suffered a bout of shingles. Now, the shingles didn't attach itself to normal places like it does to normal people. No, I'm special. I'm a special kind of special. No, it didn't attach itself to around my waist or below my bra line or any of those things like it does for most people. It attached itself to my right optic nerve. Now, it wasn't determined that it was shingles until I'd seen 13 doctors. Yeah, you heard me. Apparently it's difficult to determine, but I felt the pain. I had massive pain in my head. It was just, it was not something that I could pick as this is the problem. I was like that for days. I ended up taking, I think, almost 6 weeks off work. It affected not only my right optic nerve, it also affected the right side of my face. So probably down to half of my nose, and it went down across under my cheekbone, and that was the area. Sorry, that was the area that it affected. Piss off. And yet it survived. Oh my goodness. All right. So anyway, fast forward some time and agony and adjustment. I was on all kinds of pills. I had nerve pain all through the right side of my head. I was on nerve pills for a good year. I was a shell of myself. I mean, you could ask any of my work colleagues at the time. I was given the nickname Dory because I was just so forgetful. People would say something to me and the next minute I'd forget. It was just ridiculous. I was so drugged up, and it affected my life in every way you could imagine. My confidence was shot to shit because my face was in this corner here. It was caved in. It was literally like it was caved in. The way that people looked at me, it really made me feel what it would be like to be a minority. It was just terrible. And the way that people would look at Dave, as we were walking through a shopping centre or something like that, because we had to continue living our lives. It wasn't just something that, oh, well, you know, you could just stay home and write it out. You couldn't write it out. And some of you will be able to relate with the whole shingles thing. But yeah, for me it was a nightmare. It was a nightmare, absolute nightmare. Anyway, hear the pretty birds? Isn't that cute? I mean, even though this is a serious video, they are really, really cute. They really lift your spirit. So as a result, I had a scratch on my cornea. That's the only thing that doctors could see prior to diagnosing it as shingles. It's the only thing they could see, and they would prescribe all kinds of different medications. Didn't work. I was in an emergency ward. Okay, I'm going too far back. All right, you know what? Fast forward to the shingles were gone. I got past that, but instead it had affected my eye with a herpes zoster virus. This just basically made it a veil, so I couldn't see properly. So I wasn't even aware of the presence of a cataract even beginning to grow. I started to see an ophthalmologist in Perth. I'm not going to mention his name because I'm really, really disappointed in this person and the treatments that he gave me. That's the only thing that I will give away, is that he was a he. And the people that are closest to me know who he is. But I won't share that because I'm not a name and shame type of person. Now, I was seeing that ophthalmologist for a period of, we came here to Thailand in 2023. So I was seeing that ophthalmologist for a period of 4 years. And my last consultation with him was back in probably December of 22. And I remember him saying to me verbatim, and I would tell you no lie, verbatim, he said, I've thrown everything I've got at this eye, everything. And he said, I might have to actually refer you to a colleague of mine. And at that point, the anger inside of me was so freaking present that I had to do my best to stabilize myself, my mood and everything. And I said, Doc, let me stop you there. Don't worry about referring me to your colleague. I said, you've done what you could. Dave and I will be moving to Thailand, so once we're in Thailand, I will find an ophthalmologist there. And I paid my bill and I left. Yes, I paid my bill and I left. So we moved here to Thailand, and when we first got here, we were at the Twin Peaks. We were there for 3 months, and fantastic place. Dave got into a group called the Geeks Club, and one of the guys there had 2 cataracts removed, and somehow it came up in conversation that you know, I was in need of an ophthalmologist. So this guy, Chris his name is, had given Dave the name of this ophthalmologist that he'd gone to, and that he said he was so happy with. But at the time, I felt like everything was under control. Medication-wise, I didn't feel as though I needed to see an ophthalmologist straight away, because I was basically seeing my ophthalmologist every 3 months. Every 3 months, he would check it, he would ask me questions, I'd be gone for another 3 months. So I figured, hey, another 3 months, I'm fine. But it was getting close to that, because we came over in March, and I'd seen the ophthalmologist back in Perth in December, so that was already 3 months. So Dave needed new glasses, and we went around to the optometrist around the corner from Twin Peaks. So we went there, and the lady, it was called Koi Optometry, and she was good. She's good. So, that's why I'm mentioning it, because we also did a video on that place. If you scroll back to probably March, maybe not March, April, maybe, because we had scheduled videos up already, so that one kind of took its place. It viewed when it took its place anyway. So while we were there, I just asked, look, is there anybody that you would suggest, or anybody that you know of that's an ophthalmologist that you believe in? And she said, oh yes, definitely. And she wrote it on the back of her business card, and she wrote Sripat Hospital, which consequently is where I ended up going a year and a bit later. So what ended up happening is I booked an appointment with someone at Sripat, and she was a young lady, a young ophthalmologist, and she took pictures of my eye. She took the pressure of my eye. I read the chart, not much of the chart with my right eye, but nevertheless I read the chart, and she basically said, well, I'm happy with that, just continue with what you're doing. So at the time I was using Flarex as the drops for my eye, and I was using Valaciclovir, which was an antiviral, the herpes medication. It's to keep the herpes zoster virus down. Not herpes as in genital herpes, so don't get the two confused. She sent me on my way. I saw her probably another 2 or 3 times, and the last time I saw her, I said to Dave, look, I'm not coming back to her. She's full of shit. So in my eyes, she was full of shit, and I'm not even going to say what her name is. She was basically just doing the minimum, nothing more. And then I said to Dave, that some time went by. I'd say probably a good 6 months, because I was just downhearted, disappointed, really didn't know what my next turn was. And then I remembered Chris had given Dave that number of the eye clinic in town here in Chiang Mai. So we made an appointment. We went there, and the first thing that Dr. Winai said to me was, stop with the drops and stop with the medication. He said, the drops have given you glaucoma. So I ended up with steroid-induced glaucoma, not naturally sought, and I had a cataract. I knew I had a cataract because my doctor, ophthalmologist back in Perth, had advised me that there was a cataract beginning to grow, but I don't have to worry about it too much, because apparently they grow very, very slowly over a period of 10 to 15 years. So you won't have to worry about that for at least another 10 years, he said to me. Another lie. So I was saying, I got off those drops. Dr. Winai put me onto a drop called Tapcom-S. Tapcom-S, I had to use 1 drop per day at night time to reduce the pressure that was in my eye. When he took the pressure of my eyes, your eyes are supposed to be around 13. So my left eye was 13, my right eye was 26. Now I have got friends whose glaucoma has got to a lot higher than that, and I'm not going to give you a shout out right now, but you know who you are. You may not want to have a shout out, so I'm just being careful. But I love you. It came to the point where I had spoken with Dr. Winai, and I said, look, this cataract, it's just really, it's mucking up my depth perception, and here's not good news, because, one of these days I'm just going to misjudge a step and fall. So he said, you know what? He said, how about surgery? And I kind of went, yeah, okay, because this was just before Christmas, 2024. And yeah, he said, well, you know, we can do it as soon as you want to. And I said, okay, well, with the silly season here at its peak, let's just leave it until the earliest appointment in January. So he said, all right, January the 13th, he said, I'll book you in. 3-Pat Hospital, you know, at 11 o'clock, 9 o'clock be there, get all the processing done and get your surgery done. And that at that time, he said, you know what, do you want to get the glaucoma procedure done at the same time? And I said, oh, okay. I didn't know anything about it because I haven't done any research into glaucoma. That was the first that I'd heard of it when I had it. So I basically said, tell me a little bit more about it. So he said, it's a dual operation. So, all right. So I've got notes in front of me on my phone. Now the glaucoma operation is called trabeculectomy. I think I've got that right. Trabeculectomy. It's a surgical procedure to treat glaucoma by reducing the pressure in the eye. It's performed by creating a small opening in the white of the eye to allow the fluid to drain. So essentially, I have now got a small chamber that is redirecting fluid out of my eye. So, and on top of that, I also had and I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing this correctly, but the phacoemulsification with intraocular lens implantation. So this is a modern cataract surgery technique that's also known as a sutureless cataract procedure. It's a small incision that's made in the eye. An ultrasonic probe is inserted through the incision. This probe breaks down the cataractus lens into small parts and sucks them out. And then the pieces are removed. A foldable intraocular, what did I call it? An intraocular lens implantation was then inserted into my eye. A solution was injected into my eye to help the lens unfold. And the benefits of that is it's self-healing. The stitches, the sutures are dissolving, but the sutures that were not dissolving was from the trabeculectomy. Good shit, eh? Yes, so the glaucoma operation sutures are not dissolvable. So at the moment, at that time, I had 3 different sutures that can all be taken out. But at the moment, I've still got 2. The day after my surgery, I went to my ophthalmologist, Dr. Winai. He removed I had a patch over my eye. I had to make sure that the patch didn't get wet. My face didn't get wet. I cannot wash my face for 2 weeks. So for 1 more week, I cannot wash my face. Do you know how yuck that is? I can feel risen bits. Sorry, that was that stupid mosquito again. Yeah, anyway, that's beside the point. He said to me, how is your eye feeling? And I said, it's feeling good, but it's a little bit like sand grain. He said, yeah, it'll feel like that. So he said, you know, come and see me again next week. So I went in again yesterday morning, Sunday. Yes, he's open on a Sunday. What a magnificent man he is. He's open in his eye clinic between 9 and 11 a.m. So for appointment only people. And you need to make sure that you have one. You can't make an appointment. You have to basically be there at 9 o'clock and expect to be there for a full 2 hours. This is what it's like in any ophthalmology clinic in Perth, sometimes even longer. I remember sitting in, oh wow, I almost said it, the clinic back in Perth for 4 hours. And every single time, my boss at the time would give me time off. to take those ophthalmology appointments, so I could be the first in the line and take the 7:30 appointment. What a fantastic man. Kudos to you, Rob Tomio. So, yesterday, my ophthalmologist, Dr. Winai, removed the stitch, and I'm blinking now and I cannot feel sandy grains. You got no idea how good that feels. You got no idea how good knowing, this is me. This is me having little expectations. I'm trying to, at the beginning of this, I tried to go into this with low expectations. But the fact that I can see clearly through my right eye, I've got 20/20 vision. I can tell you, I've not had 20/20 vision since I was 17. I'm 56. 17. And now I can see everything. I remember when I first got contact lenses way back in my early 20s, and I put those babies in and I went, oh my God, trees have leaves? Are you kidding me? Wow. Because they were just a blur before. When I couldn't see street signs, I couldn't see anything. Now, my goodness, now it's like I'm a new woman. Seriously, these two operations, just amazing. The actual operations being, having the surgery under twilight, it's probably not the best idea, but it also is the best idea in terms of quick healing, because while I was laying there in the operating theatre, the ophthalmologist surgeon would ask me, it was Dr. Winai, he performed my surgery, look down, look to the right, look up, all of those things. So, I had to have my eye in a certain position. And I said to my ophthalmologist, what happens with people that want the procedure done under general anaesthetic? And he said, well, it's doable, but it's just a little bit more difficult because the patient doesn't have control over the eye. They're asleep, essentially. So you have to... I'm not even going to go there. No, don't even worry about that part. But yeah, if you want to know, I will, just let me know in the comments what he said and I'll share that with you. But that didn't happen to me, so thankfully I can breathe a sigh of relief. And mosquito spray smell at the moment because it's quite disgusting. So I wanted to share that with you, and I'm crossing everything that crosses that my 6-year nightmare is now over, and I can begin a new chapter of my life, fully visible. So thanks guys for being with me during this one, a very, very serious one. But at the same time, if this is something that you're having to have done, then I highly recommend Dr. Winai. I will put all of his contact details, everything down the bottom in the description, absolutely everything that you need to be able to contact him. You can go there. He's open every day in his eye clinic between 5 and 7 p.m, but not on a Wednesday. And he's also open on a Sunday between 9 and 11 a.m. So if you can make it there during the weekdays, just to get get your name into his books, start seeing him, get anything that you need done, and he is definitely the man to do the job. I know many other people that have had Dr. Winai, have been privileged enough to have Dr. Winai to be their physician. And I can honestly say, hand on heart, that this man is the most grounded, the most honest, and the most caring physician I have ever met in my life. I'm 56. I've seen a lot of doctors because my life has not been an easy one when medical things are concerned. So take my word for it. If you have any extra questions, feel free to ask, because I just want to help the next person that might be dealing with the same thing that I'm dealing with. All right, thank you so much for being with me, and sorry that Dave isn't in the video today, but he felt as though he would be kind of like a loose heel, so he's on the phone over there talking to his mate, so all good. All right, so thank you again. Thank you so much. Keep following our channel, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.